The cold asphalt bit into her worn paws. For 3 days and 3 nights, Luna, a scruffy, medium-sized street dog with eyes that held the universe's sorrow, had not moved from this spot. Her matted, once golden fur was now streaked with urban grime, and her ribs pressed starkly against her thin coat.
But her vigil was unwavering. Beside her lay a battered cardboard box, stained and sodden from an earlier drizzle, a forgotten relic of someone's hasty discard. Cars whizzed by, their headlights cutting through the pre-dawn gloom, indifferent to the silent tableau of desperation. Pedestrians hurried past, their footsteps echoing like judgments, their gazes flicking away from the sight of a dog seemingly guarding nothing but trash. Yet Luna knew. Her instincts, honed by a life on the brutal streets, screamed at her to stay. A low guttural growl would rumble in her chest whenever a shadow lengthened near her precious cargo. Her head, heavy with exhaustion, would lift, and her amber eyes, though weary, would gleam with fierce protectiveness. She was starving, her stomach a hollow ache, but the faint, almost imperceptible sounds from within the box were a more powerful hunger. A tiny whimper, a soft, struggling sigh. They were her purpose. On the 4th morning, as the first bruised light of dawn painted the sky, a lone figure emerged from the laundromat across the street. Elias, a man whose own life had known its share of hardship, noticed her. He was usually one to keep his head down, to mind his own business, but something about this dog was different. Her stillness was profound, her focus absolute. He'd seen stray dogs before, but never one so utterly devoted to a piece of cardboard. Curiosity, mingled with a faint tremor of unease, tugged at him. He approached slowly, cautiously, his steps deliberate. Luna's ears flattened, her body tensing, a low, warning rumble rising from her throat. Elias stopped a respectful distance away. "Hey there, girl," he murmured, his voice soft, devoid of threat. "What's got you so worried?" He lowered himself to a squat, careful not to make any sudden movements. He watched her, truly watched her, and in her eyes he saw not just fear, but an overwhelming, heartbreaking plea, a plea for help, masked by an iron will to protect. He saw the faint tremor in her legs, the way her gaze kept darting from him to the box. It wasn't just a box, it was her box, and something was inside. He edged a hand towards it, slowly, offering the back of his hand first. Luna let out a sharp, desperate bark, a sound that tore at Elias's heart. Okay, he soothed, pulling his hand back. "Not the box. What about you?" He pulled a half-eaten sandwich from his pocket, setting it gently on the pavement a few feet from her. Luna's nostrils flared, the scent of meat a torturous temptation. Her body swayed, a battle raging within her. Survival screamed for food, but loyalty held her captive. She glanced at the sandwich, then back at the box, then at Elias. Her eyes filled with a silent agony, made his decision for him. This wasn't just a stray, this was a mother, or a surrogate one, protecting something fragile. He took a deep breath. "All right, girl, I'm going to look in the box. I promise I won't hurt whatever's inside. I promise." He spoke with quiet conviction, his gaze holding hers. Slowly, painstakingly, he reached for the ragged flap of the cardboard. Luna's body vibrated with tension, a low, continuous growl shaking her frame, but she didn't snap. She just watched, her entire being poised between attack and desperate surrender. Elias lifted the flap, and his breath hitched. Curled tightly within a thin, dirty scrap of fabric lay not a puppy, but a tiny, mewling kitten, no bigger than his palm. Its eyes were still sealed, its fragile body trembling with cold and hunger. It was impossibly small, impossibly vulnerable, and next to it, nestled against its tiny form, was a small, tattered teddy bear, placed there by Luna. The dog, a creature of a different species, had taken this orphaned, abandoned infant under her wing, offering what little comfort she had. Tears welled in Elias's eyes. This wasn't just loyalty. It was pure, unadulterated love. He carefully scooped up the box, the kitten, and the teddy bear. Luna, her growl fading to a soft whine, pressed close to his leg, nudging the box, sniffing at the kitten with gentle anxiety. "We're going to get them help, girl," Elias whispered, stroking her head. "All of you." He took them to the nearest animal shelter, a place he had often passed but never entered. The staff were stunned by the sight, a hungry, emaciated dog steadfastly guarding a tiny, helpless kitten placed tenderly beside a worn teddy bear. Luna allowed the vets to examine the kitten, but only if she could be in the same room, her amber eyes never leaving her precious charge. Both were weak, but alive. The kitten, named Hope by the shelter staff, slowly began to thrive under constant care and Luna's watchful, loving presence. Luna, too, slowly regained her strength, her body filling out, her fur regaining some of its lost sheen. But her bond with Hope remained unbroken. They slept together, ate together, a testament to a love that defied species, circumstance, and the cruelty of the world. Elias, who had initially only intended to help, found himself drawn back to the shelter day after day. He watched Luna and Hope, their quiet companionship a balm to his own wounded spirit. He saw the resilience, the unconditional love, the profound connection that had blossomed from desperation. One day he knew he would take them both home. This was more than a rescue. It was a revelation. It was a testament to the extraordinary capacity for love that exists even in the harshest of conditions. It was a story of how an instinct to protect can birth the most profound hope, and how even the most overlooked lives can hold the greatest lessons. Luna, the forgotten stray dog, had not just saved a tiny kitten. She had, in her unwavering devotion, shown Elias and indeed the world the true meaning of family, compassion, and the enduring power of being seen.